Hey there, fam. How's it going? And welcome to an episode of the Midweek Motivation. How y'all doing? Was it a great week so far? You guys are killing it, working super hard, just striving for greatness. I know y'all are. So this week's Midweek Motivation is one that I think we should just constantly remind ourselves. And the working title for it right now is One Step Closer. Or we could just call it Just One More. Yeah? I've talked about it before in other episodes and another midweek's motivations to be exact. And you can do it, right? A lot of times we go and we start thinking of, man, we have so much ahead of us. We have to do this, we have to do that. And we look at the massive problem in front of us and yet forget all the progress that we'd had behind us, right? Let's say your goal is to, I don't know, lose 100 pounds. I'm going big, right? Let's say your goal is to lose 100 pounds and you've lost already 60. But you're more than halfway there, but now you're worried about the last 40. And yeah, it might be the last 40 might be a little harder, it might be a little harder to lose, but don't discredit the 60 pounds you lost, right? Or let's say you're trying to move up into a business, right? And you're like, oh man, like I've already applied for this position twice already. And man, like what's going on? Maybe the third time. And you're worried about all this, but yet 2 years ago, you weren't even working in this company at all. And it was a dream company back then, right? So what I'm here to tell you is you're exactly where you need to be, right? The calling that God has for you, he's progressively just moving you up. He's bumping you up. He's helping you just learn different things, learn different tactics, and then progress further. Yeah? And also don't forget this. You're in the middle of what you used to pray for. Like you used to pray to be in this position. You used to look back. Back then you used to look forward and be like, man, if I could only get to this position, if I could only start my YouTube channel, if I could only start my music career, if I could only do this, or man, I wish I could do so many like great things. And you used to think that. And then one day you made a decision to actually make it happen. And now let's fast forward to this current position. And now you're trying to maybe move over to even a bigger scale, trying to scale up, but don't discredit the progress you've already made. Don't discredit all the positions you've already gone through and excelled at to get to this point. Same thing with your walk with Christ. We start worrying about like, God, but you've told me to do this and you told me to do that and it's not happening just yet. But yet we forget about the miracles and the things God did for us back then. Maybe just yesterday you were praying for something and just boohoo crying and God was like, hey man, he gave you that peace. And now you have that peace, but now you're worried about something else. Enjoy this victory, enjoy this win, whether it's a small victory or it's a massive victory, whether it's, you've been wanting to go and wake up early to get to the gym, like, all right, cool, you get into a routine and you're getting that done. Or maybe, you were, you're for some reason late because there was an accident, late to work, but then you're about to be late for work. But then God's like, you know what, Pam, he showed you how to, you remember the back passage where you could get through that way, right? Whether you get a good parking spot, at the supermarket, whatever it is. It might sound silly, but I'm just saying, like, I'm making it silly on purpose to make a point that it doesn't matter if it's a small victory or a big victory. A victory is a victory. So when a situation comes up, when the enemy tries to attack you with, oh, well, look where you're at. Look where you're still at. Your friends are doing this. Your friends are doing that. These people that you started off with, they've excelled further than you have. Well, maybe that's their trajectory. Maybe I'm not saying this is in a bad way, but let's say they're going to cap out in the next 3 weeks. And what God has been doing with you, he's been forming you, he's been working with you, he's been just building you up. Because then when you get to that point, you're just going to surpass them. You're just going to lap them, right? Everyone has their different calling. Everyone has their different journey. Everyone has their different pathway of where they're going to go. Right? Maybe they've been praying for that. Maybe in your mind, you're like, oh, wow, they got it the same time we got in there. But then look how fast they've already grown. Maybe they've been working on this for years and you just got into it. So it might seem like you both walked into, let's say, a music career at the same time, but you don't know that when they were 12, they were in talent shows. They were doing rehearsals with their friends in bands and garages and stuff. So yeah, you might have met them and you might have entered this, let's say, music industry at the same time, but they've been putting in this extra work that you never even saw. Or vice versa. Maybe someone looks at you, look at it that way too. Someone might be looking at you like, man, I wish I had, what Rodz had. I wish I had what Maria had. I wish I had what Jose had, what Ashley, Kimberly, Michael, Joseph, whatever. Insert your name in there. I wish I had what they had, right? You're out here looking around and wishing that you had what other people had, but people might be wanting what you have. So let's not, discredit this progress you've made, the growth you've made, just because in the current moment, you're not happy where you're at. Now, I'm not saying to go and, be like, oh, I'm okay with them, content with just enough. No, strive for greatness, strive for, amazing things, strive for just the highest possibility you can and the highest levels you can attain, right? The sky is the limit, right? And then after that, you go to the moon. Like, I'm not saying to, to downplay or to water down your dream. What I'm saying is to appreciate the growth you've already had. Yeah. And I feel like that's a word for somebody. So maybe someone's going through it right now and it's like, man, like I wish I had this, or I wish I had that, or man, I'm trying to progress here, I'm trying to progress there. Nothing's around me is being moved, right? I want you to remember it's a very simple one. Then this is the way this is how I know that God was super serious, because he put it in a super simple form so I could then share it with you guys. You are right in the middle of what you used to pray for. So act like it. Yeah. I'll say that one more time. You are right in the middle of what you used to pray for. Like that, it's very simple. Yeah. It's very simple to understand that you've prayed for this before. You've strived and you've pushed for something to this point. So if already God brought you to this point in the middle of where you're at, what makes you think he's going to leave you there? He's not going to do anything halfway. He's not going to, I'm going to bring you up to 75%. The last 25, you can figure it out. No. If God called you to something, to do something, it's because he's going to lead you all the way through. Yeah. I'll say one more time for those taking notes. I feel like I got to repeat that for someone that maybe either just hopped on and is watching at this point, or maybe you got invited to the league at this point. But I want you to understand, you are right in the middle of what you used to pray for. God's in control. He's got your back. He's going to help you see it through. Yeah. I love you guys. Hope this was a good word for you guys, that this is just one that fired you up again, and that you can just progress and keep on going. Just kill the rest of the week and just do amazing things. Yeah. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of these talks. Stay tuned for Friday. The talk I got is going to be part 2, the second continuation of what we talked about last week. I'm excited for it. So just tune in on Friday, 5 o'clock. As always, stay safe, make it the best day ever. I'll see y'all next week.